yesterday. So for you to receive wealth, it requires you to renew your mind, right? Number one, we talked about this yesterday. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. But it's to renew your mind on the truth of God, renew your mind on what God says about his children acquiring wealth and just abundance and prosperity, and wealth being our birthright from the very beginning. And so I dive deeper into renewing your mind when it comes to being prosperous and abundant in your life and business. The second thing is release control. So you have to release control of your expectations and your timelines, right? You have to just release control and just trust that God is doing his part. You've done your part, and now you're able to now go into the third R, which is to rest in faith, knowing that God is going to do his part. And an analogy that I've shared with about this was like you know, loading up. You're flying to Jamaica, right? You're flying to Jamaica, so you drive to the airport. You check your luggage, right? You release control. You check your luggage, and now you're sitting on the flight, and you're just trusting the pilot to get you there, to get you to your destination, because you've done your part. You've driven to the airport. You went through security. You have, gone through gone through customs, dropped your luggage, and now you're just sitting on the flight and just taking that time, however long it takes. I'm in Miami, it takes me an hour to get to Jamaica. So for that hour, I'm not going to be walking up to the cockpit every 2 minutes. Are we there yet? Are we there? Are we in Jamaica yet? Are we landing soon? No, because that's just going to delay the process, right? I'm interrupting the pilot. I'm causing delay. I'm disrupting. And so you want to just rest knowing that you've done your part. You've worked, you've operated, you've taken action in faith, and now you're just resting. And another analogy, I can go on, but another one that I really love was like baking a cake, right? You've mixed, you've gotten all the ingredients, you put it all together, you put it in the oven, you set the timer for 40 minutes, and so now you can rest knowing that that cake is going to bake, it's going to rise. But if you keep going to the oven, opening the oven, your cake's going to be flat, right? You're going to destroy the cake. And so it's really important to rest in faith. All right. And so the fourth R was receive with gratitude. So now it's like when you are able to rest in faith, you're able to relax. Your nervous system isn't tense, you're not tight, you're not agitated, you're not frustrated, you're just relaxing. You're relaxing. You're resting in faith, knowing that it's done. It's already a done deal. And so now you're able to just receive. You're so much more open to receivership. And when you do receive, you receive with gratitude. And so if your goal is to make 10K months in your business, but someone just signed up for your workshop, you receive with gratitude, knowing that you're going to see the fruition of the vision that God has shown you, right? With that desire that you have, that he's put on your heart. And so it's really important to understand. And then the last R was to repeat this daily, right? To repeat the process of renewing your mind, releasing control, resting in faith, and receiving with gratitude and thanksgiving onto the Lord. But what the Lord was showing to me this morning was, Janelle, there's one piece there that they struggle with, right? Which is the title of this live stream, the biggest block that keeps you from receiving wealth, and how to resist it. And that block, that additional R, is resist the enemy. Resist the enemy. The Bible tells us, and I believe it's in James. I have it noted in my notes here. So yes, James 4:7 says, resist the devil and he will flee. Resist the devil and he will flee. The definition for resist is withstand, to stand firm, don't fold, don't be in agreement with the enemy's lies, don't partner with the lie of the enemy. And you have to understand that resistance is spiritual warfare, because the enemy is after your destiny. And so he comes, but he doesn't come but to still kill and destroy. Meaning, if he's not killing something, if he's not stealing something, he's not coming. He's coming to kill, steal, and destroy your destiny. And it's so important for you to adhere to the word of the Lord in James 4:7. Resist the enemy and he will flee. So when he comes with his tactics, and we're going to be going over four of them, there's so many more, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to be breaking down like what I believe are like the top four. Um, and we're going to be breaking it down, but he comes with his tactics, and it's so important for you as believers in business to be so vigilant, be so discerning of the enemy's schemes and his tactics. And so one of the enemy's tactics that you must learn to resist is doubt. God has placed this vision in your heart. He's given you this vision, he's given you this desire, and you want to believe God, right? I opened it up by saying literally making money is not hard. It's not hard. But what's hard is becoming the person, becoming the woman who makes money with ease. And so when God has given you this vision for a vast business, right? Maybe he's given you a vision for six figures, right? Maybe he's giving you a vision for millions. Whatever that vision is for you in particular, the enemy will come and place doubtful thoughts in your mind. The enemy will come just as he did with Eve in the garden and say, well, did God really say that? Did God really say that? And it causes you to doubt. And so it's so important to resist the enemy when he tries to come with this tactic of doubt to get you to question what God has spoken to you. You have to resist him. Okay. He attacks God's promises, he attacks your calling, and he attacks your timeline. Right? The enemy doesn't remove truth, he questions it. He causes you to question it. Another tactic that the enemy will come with is distraction, which is huge. We're always on our phones. We're always like just on like either on our phone scrolling or maybe chatting on the like or watching Netflix or just all the distractions that are all around us, and the enemy will come with distraction. The moment that you sit down to read your word, someone texts you, right? Or the moment that you sit down to say, okay, I'm going to work on I'm going to work on my emails for next week. Then it's like someone calls you, or your child needs help with this, or whatever, your husband's calling you in the bedroom. Like it's just there's always like a distraction, and the enemy he'll pull you away from every from the very thing that the Lord is calling you to do. Another form of distraction is like when God called you to do a specific thing, and but then you see someone else doing something else, and so now you're like, oh well, that seems to be working with for her, let me jump over there, right? So like maybe God has called you to YouTube, right? And you see people thriving, you see someone else, another coach, thriving on TikTok. So now you're like, oh, let me jump over on TikTok because it looks like it's popping over there. No, stay in your lane. No distractions, stay where the Lord has placed you. And so it's really important for you to not be distracted and to resist the enemy by resisting distraction. Where did God call you is the question. Did he call you to YouTube? Did he call you to Instagram? Did he call you to TikTok? Which platform? And when the enemy will also distract you with comparison, right? So we just kind of touched on that, where it's like you're looking to the left and to the right instead of looking vertically at looking to God. Stop looking horizontally and look vertically and look to God and where he's leading you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added on to you. And so focus on heaven, focus on the Lord. And so do not be distracted. Resist the enemy and his distractions. The